Giannis is quietly having another historic season.
Pressure by Dame, here goes Giannis straight down the lane.
Despite a slow start, the Bucks have figured it out, and in large part due to the Greek Freak's dominance. His ability to impact the game on both ends make him such a valuable player. We're talking about a player with exceptional athleticism who is able to score whenever he wants, grabs rebounds over everyone, and protects the rim. So how come despite all of these unbelievable qualities, Giannis' MVP caliber season is flying under the radar? Giannis himself is used to being underrated. After all, his rise to the NBA is a tale of perseverance. Born on December 6, 1994 in Athens, Greece, to Nigerian immigrant parents, Giannis and his brothers faced significant challenges, which included economic hardships and the complexities of statelessness, as they lacked official citizenship in Greece. His parents, as immigrants, were without work permits, so to support the family, Giannis and his older brother, Thanasis, sold items on the streets of Athens. In 2007, Giannis began playing basketball, and by 2009, he was part of the youth team of his local club. His dedication and rapid development led him to the senior team in 2011, where he competed in Greece's semi-professional leagues. His performances caught the attention of scouts, and in 2013, he declared for the NBA draft. Despite limited exposure, the Milwaukee Bucks selected Giannis as the 15th overall pick in the 2013 NBA draft. At 18, he entered the NBA as one of the youngest players, bringing in raw talent and unseen potential. Nobody had any idea how good this skinny Greek kid could become. In his rookie season, he showcased his versatility, averaging 6.8 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.9 assists per game. As the seasons went by, Giannis kept getting better. In the 2015-2016 season, he was averaging almost 17 points per game. On February 22, 2016, he got his first ever career triple-double, putting up 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists against the Lakers. In doing so, he became the youngest Buck to record a triple-double. In his fourth season, he signed a 4-year, $100 million contract extension, and this was where his rise to superstardom began. By 2017, Giannis was leading the Bucks in all 5 major statistical categories. He averaged 22.9 points, 8.8 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1.9 blocks per game. This exceptional all-round performance earned him his first NBA All-Star selection, making him the first Greek player to achieve this honor. Analysts were now praising him. He had a unique combination of size, athleticism, and skill. It's here that he began to be referred to as the Greek Freak. One of his best performances came on February 10, 2017 against the Lakers, where he got 41 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, leading the Bucks to a victory. This game wasn't just about Giannis dominating, it showed just how much better he had gone from the skinny kid that was drafted back in 2013. He was faster, stronger, had way more confidence in his abilities. Building on his previous success, Giannis elevated his game further in the 2017-2018 season, averaging almost 27 points per game during the regular season. His good form secured him a second consecutive All-Star selection and even broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's franchise record for triple-doubles. He was now much more consistent on the offensive end, and his leadership on the court was showing. He was now being recognized as one of the league's rising superstars, not just a good player. In fact, Giannis was playing so well that the Bucks made it to the playoffs. Despite how well he played in the playoffs, he got 35 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists in Game 1, then got the game-winning tip in Game 4, the Bucks still ended up losing in 7 games.
Again, they're going to have a great series coming up between the Celtics and the Sixers.
That loss, though, didn't demoralize Giannis. In fact, in the 2018-2019 season, he elevated his game to new heights. He wasn't a rising superstar anymore. He was one of the league's premier players. He averaged 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game over 72 games, leading the Milwaukee Bucks to a league-best 60-22 record. His performances were so good that he earned the NBA Most Valuable Player award, beating James Harden and Paul George. This was a huge milestone in Giannis' career. He had become the 3rd youngest player ever to win the MVP and only the 2nd Bucks player to get the award. The award signified that the entire world of basketball was now seeing him as the very best player in the league. His dominance on both ends of the floor, including just how good he was defensively and his improved playmaking abilities, contributed significantly to how well the Bucks played that season. This time though, not only had Giannis shined in the regular season, but his performances had also translated directly to the postseason as well. He helped the Bucks advance to the second round of the playoffs playoffs for the first time since 2001, after scoring 41 points in a win in Game 4 over the Pistons, where the Bucks swept them. Remember how the Bucks had lost in the first round of the playoffs in the season before? Well, they got their revenge on the Celtics, beating them to reach the Eastern Conference Final. Unfortunately though, on the biggest stage with the brightest lights, in a grueling 6-game series, the Bucks ended up losing to the Raptors. What was worse than the loss was the fact that the series exposed some of the weaknesses in Giannis's game. His lack of outside shooting meant that teams could crowd the paint and essentially build a wall. Since Giannis couldn't shoot, he was forced to either try and make a very difficult layup or pass it to one of his teammates. That meant if the Bucks' three-point shooting was off that night, they were cooked. The series also showed the importance of postseason experience. Toronto had constantly been in deep playoff runs, but Giannis was relatively new. His inexperience showed as he was unable to adjust to the Raptors' strategies. It showed that Giannis still needed to grow as a leader and be able to adapt under high pressure situations. Perfect example being his poor free throw percentage. It became easy for the Raptors defenders to just foul Giannis, knowing that there was a very high chance he would miss at least one free throw. When you get into the playoffs, you can't have glaring weaknesses like this in your game. So going into the next season, Giannis had a point to prove. Now the regular season had gone well. Giannis averaged nearly 30 points, 13.6 rebounds, and 5.6 assists per game. He was so good that he won both the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year award, making him the third player in history to receive both honors in the same season. With Giannis playing so good, the Bucks once again had a great record, 56 wins, 17 losses. The Raptors had also lost Kawhi, the player who had stopped Giannis in the previous season, so it seemed that the path to the NBA Finals was open for the Greek Freak. That's not how the postseason went though. The Bucks were eliminated by the Miami Heat in just 5 games. Giannis got an ankle injury during the series, which limited his effectiveness and sidelined him for the final game. Following this unexpected exit though, analysts and fans began to scrutinize Giannis' playoff performances, questioning whether he could ever lead a team to a championship. His shooting limitations meant that the Bucks were over-reliant on inside scoring, making it very easy for teams to make defensive strategies to stop Giannis. The early playoff elimination also intensified the speculations that were going around about Giannis' future with the Bucks, as he was approaching free agency in 2021. Analysts debated whether Milwaukee could even build a championship caliber team around Giannis, somebody who had so many glaring weaknesses, or if he might seek opportunities elsewhere to secure an NBA title. Despite the amount of individual accolades he had won, people had no faith in him. So going into the 2021 season, the weight of the world was on the shoulders of Giannis and Milwaukee. Giannis decided to put to rest any concerns about him leaving by re-signing with the Bucks on December 15, 2020, a 5-year, $228 million extension. The investment, it paid dividends right away. He was an all-star again and even won all-star MVP. But again, nobody cared. Everyone was waiting for the postseason to see if Giannis could battle his demons. In the first round of the playoffs, they faced a rematch against the Miami Heat. This time though, Giannis was healthy and ready to go as he led the Bucks to sweep the Heat, closing the series out in style by getting his first ever playoff triple-double. The next round, Giannis continued going into beast mode, 31.9 points, 12.9 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game as the Bucks defeated the Nets. This was an intense series. I mean, had Kevin Durant's shoe been slightly smaller, the ending to this story, I'm telling you, would be very different. In the Eastern Conference Finals, Giannis picked up a gruesome knee injury in the third quarter of Game 4 against the Hawks, but the Bucks still won the series. They had advanced to the NBA Finals for the first time in 47 years, but there were doubts about whether Giannis could recover in time to play in the finals. I don't know if his story was scripted, I don't know if he has some magical powers, but Giannis, despite having his knee literally bend on national TV, was in the lineup to make his finals debut against the Phoenix Suns. The crazy thing is he wasn't just back, he looked even better than before he was injured, going crazy in back-to-back games in Game 2 and Game 3 of the finals. In the most important game of the series, Game 6, Giannis scored 50 points, grabbed 14 rebounds, and blocked 5 shots, leading Milwaukee to a 105-98 victory and securing the championship. His 50-point performance tied the record for the most points in a series-clinching game. What made his performance that much more special was that he was terrific from the free throw line, a part of his game that was heavily criticized. Giannis was unanimously named Finals MVP, averaging 35.2 points, 13.2 rebounds, and 5 assists per game in that series. At 26 years old, he became the youngest Finals MVP since Kawhi Leonard in 2014, and the first European to win the award since Dirk Nowitzki in 2011. This championship really elevated Giannis' legacy. It placed him alongside Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon as the only players to have won MVP, Finals MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year awards during their career. Any questions, doubts, concerns about Giannis' game were silenced. He had been the best player on a team that had won the championship. But ever since that defining moment, it seems like Giannis has been overlooked. That title elevated his legacy unbelievably, but now it seems like the NBA has forgotten about him. I think a part of it has to do with the fact that he's been injured in the postseason. In the 2023 playoffs, the Bucks were shockingly eliminated by the Heat again, but Giannis was dealing with a lower back contusion, causing him to miss 2 of the games. He returned in Game 4, getting a triple-double of 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists, but it was a losing effort. The Bucks were eliminated in just 5 games, despite Giannis' 38.20 rebound outing in a closeout overtime loss in Game 5. Then in 2024, Giannis got a calf injury and missed the remainder of the regular season as well as the entirety of the 2024 NBA playoffs. But what's crazy is that individually, this guy has only been getting better. Every element of his game has improved, yet in 2023, he was left off the NBA All-Defensive team. He's more intelligent about when to attack the basket. He's a better passer. He's even developed this little fadeaway to help him get easier buckets. Yet despite his dominance, his name is rarely ever mentioned in MVP conversation. We know that players like Jokic and Embiid have had historical regular seasons, but Giannis statistically is right there with him. But again, it seems like he has to do double the work to get half the recognition. What we need, and what really Giannis needs, is another incredible postseason to remind people just how incredible he is. We're talking about a multiple-time MVP, a champion, being overlooked for other rising stars. Giannis is a superstar now. He's an established player in the league, and it's only a matter of time before he makes his mark again. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll love this one as well. Check it out right here.